What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today, LTC. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, here we are at about 120 bucks. Litecoin took a dive with the rest of the markets, didn't it? We pulled all the way down to about 100 bucks. Nice psychological area to find support, higher low overall. Very nice and composed throughout this whole range, right? A lot of cryptos have found lower lows compared to their December highs, right? Or I mean, not compared to their December highs. Sorry, since the lows from then, right? They've been finding lower lows. Litecoin, you're only finding higher lows. You're doing better than some of the top market performers with this last little bit here in some of the worst times of this bull cycle so far. Good job. Good job. Looking at the daily RSI, you are getting higher lows consistently, finding support at these same areas, and then getting higher lows the way you want to see it. Right? We've seen a lot of charts that do things like this over a long period of time, and it's very telling because every time they go down, they bounce off immediately. They bounce off immediately. Bounce a little bit of meandering, but still you bounce off immediately. Bounced off, bounced off. We can tell when something bad's about to happen and they're about to break down, because oftentimes you will, instead of bouncing off immediately, you'll kind of meander in these zones a little bit more, still finding support here, but oftentimes that's whenever you break down. So with this look already looking like you're finding support here at the 40, moving up right now, it's a good look. If today goes down, if you close red, that's fine, but I don't think you do, because yesterday closed with a very bullish dragonfly doji candle right there, only 0.2% to the downside, but you wicked all the way down there, came back up, bullish looking on your RSI. You guys, LTC found its low. I expect Litecoin to lead the markets, right? XRP, XLM, HBAR, Algo, they led the whole space in this last run from November to December. I expect all of them, if not most of them, XRP certainly, and probably XLM, probably HBAR too, but Algo, I think Algo will as well, but any of them, one of them, maybe half of them don't lead the markets as much as being led. It could happen, but I expect Litecoin to be a leader, to enter the space as a leader on this next move. And I think it'll be very obvious whenever it happens, right? People will start talking about it more, all that kind of stuff. You're at a high to low, finding support at your 382 now. When you break out, whenever you do see a day on a daily basis, whenever you do close above $138.55, when you close above there on a day, not wick above there, you've wicked above there a few times, but when you close above there on a given daily basis, it's time to start thinking about higher highs this cycle, you guys. We're going to 170 bucks in a flash. We're going to 200 bucks in a flash. We are not stopping there. We're seeing $288 in a flash, and likely beyond that, you guys. I absolutely fully expect that when Litecoin breaks out of, like, it really breaks out of this whole range, you're going to see a more explosive move than anything we've seen in years. Okay, literal years since the last half of the bull cycle last time. And where we're going to stop from a high to a low, it's anybody's guess, but my guess is somewhere at the 786 to 886 area, if not very possible to see the 886 to 100 area. That's anything from $413 here to $253 here. I don't think we stop at 253. I really don't. I have a hard time seeing us stop at 253. It's like 280 or bust, man. We take a high here. Maybe I'll take this high. Take a high, if I can get it, high there to a low there. If I can get it. Low there. Your 227 to 2618 area, that's where I think you're going to go based off of this fib. Why? Because you've already interacted with your 1618, 1272 area. You found resistance at the 1272. When it comes time to moving up, you're not going to stop. I mean, maybe you stop there momentarily, but you likely go to at least 253. So if you're going there, that's your minimum target area of the secondary zone, the 1886. Let me explain all this, because I'm going a million miles an hour, okay? Why I like the 2272 to the 2618. First, you have the primary zone between the 1272 to the 1618. You've already interacted with that and you've shaved it off. Oftentimes when you shave the 1272 like this and you break through it, you will rip right to the 1618, and oftentimes even through that, right? We already, from the analysis before, are expecting a $253 price, okay? That's what we're expecting to see. We probably do find some turbulence here, but it's not going to stop us, right? We're not going to have any kind of long-lived turbulence until we see prices that are likely above $300, right? Or maybe even above $400. When you break above the primary target zone, which is the 1618 to the 1272, when you break above the 1618, you gain access to the secondary target zone, which is the 1886 to the 2618. And this is what I meant when I said that's the minimum target. it wouldn't make sense to me if our minimum target that we already derived outside of this minimum was the 786 at $253. It wouldn't make sense to me that if we went here, if we went above there, which I very much think that we're going to, that we would stop anywhere else other than the 2272 to the 2618. It's very, very common with the 2272 to wick just above it. So when I say between this area, I very much do believe that Litecoin, I'm probably one of the only people on YouTube that's making this call. I'm sure there's plenty of people who are calling for Litecoin to see new all-time highs by the end of the cycle, but I might be the only person on YouTube making this call that Litecoin, by the end of this next move, it could be by the end of March, if not the first couple of weeks of April, before the halfway point of April, Litecoin will be at prices that are at $316 or higher. It could even break out. It could see prices above $400. It really could. Of course, we could do that crazy thing that cryptocurrencies like to do, which is just exceed everybody's expectations and tear right through the roof. That could happen too. I don't expect that to happen, but let's entertain it. Let's be super crazy bullish. If that wasn't crazy bullish enough for you already, it should be. Litecoin's been a bit stagnant. It's about to get some life in it, though. Genuinely, I mean this. This next move is going to be bigger than anything you've seen in years. But if it's even bigger than what I expect, the next target area you'd stop at would be like $772. So if Litecoin pulls a crypto-like move, and it sees some real life in it, and we see like a 6x, it could happen. It could happen. Beyond that, you're breaking out to new all-time highs. What would that do? If you're breaking out to new all-time highs, Litecoin becomes now a non-zombie, non-dead coin. Maybe it doesn't stop there. Maybe it goes higher. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I think you probably stop at 318 to 413. Let's be very clear. But in case you exceed my expectations, this is the land in which to exceed it. It's crazy, crazy gains, man. And inevitably, I do think you reach those targets. Inevitably, by the end of the cycle, Litecoin's going to be worth thousands of dollars, probably above $4,000, $6,000, somewhere in that range. But that's neither here nor there. We get those targets from this high to low right here, right? Come on now, there you go, high to low, 45, 63, somewhere in that area, 1886 to 200 area there. But looking at the more immediate stuff, focusing back at the immediate stuff, looking at the 1 hour time frame, we have hit the overbought zone. Okay, rejected it immediately. You had a nice little move up here. It kind of looks like a bull trap. You're almost getting set up for like a cup and handle on a very short time frame. High to low. Above the 382. Nice, man, nice. I mean, you could go all the way back down to your 236, which is at about $113. Don't be sad if you do. It's okay if you do, but likely you'll find support here at about 117 to 115 bucks. I think so. Probably 117 to 116 bucks, honestly. I think you're on your way up, man. You probably today, like by the end of today, I think Litecoin's going to be at prices that are at 125 to 128 or higher. We could be above 130 by the end of today, but I think today you're moving up more. And if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong and you're not here, it's only because you're higher than that, right? I don't think that you're going lower. If you do, if I'm wrong on that entirely, and you don't go higher, you do go lower, then maybe you go as low as about 110, but I don't see you getting below that, right? 118 now, 110 is no big deal, especially with what you've been through already. So Litecoin looking fierce on the 1 hour, looking a little bit sad on the 4 hour, right? But you're at a point where you could break out of it, right? Lower highs here, lower lows here, something like that. And if you do break out of it, if the 1 hour sticks true, I would think you continue onwards. Breaking out of that 4 hour RSI would likely mean that you'd probably have to see prices above 125, and I think that you do here today, probably today. If not, again, if I'm wrong, maybe you reject here at the 50 area, come back down at this area you've been finding resistance on your downward sloping RSI trend. Perhaps you do come all the way back down to about 110 bucks, again, just below this low closing price here, 110, 105 bucks, something like that. Find a double bottom and then move up from there, but I don't see you going lower than this low. I definitely don't. If it happens, Litecoin's still good, but I don't see that happening. Daily RSI. Again, we've already been over this. Actually, that one looks good, right? But it would look better. It would look best to me, actually, if today did close green and the following days close green until we're back up to this area that's above $130. And who knows, man? We genuinely might just be on a nonstop mission right now. It could be yesterday. Could have been the exact starting point to this move that inevitably takes us to $300. It could have been yesterday. So I've got nothing else to say, guys. I think everything's clear, right? I want to look at this actually before we end the video. I do want to look at the linear regression oscillator and just see, yeah, oftentimes whenever you hit that invalidation point, that's actually where you find support and you move up. So good, still a valid area, I think. And I've actually come to learn that interacting with it like shades it out a little bit it technically invalidates it, but oftentimes you do find support right at these areas. Invalidation point here, so you found resistance right there. You didn't invalidate the downtrend. For those of you that don't know, the blue means downtrend. You're invalidating the downtrend and moving up. The green means uptrend. You'd be invalidating the uptrend and moving down. But oftentimes, instead of invalidating the trend and moving lower, you actually find support here. Instead of invalidating the trend and moving higher, you actually find resistance there. Oftentimes with these daily time frames, I've noticed. Weekly time frame here. A reversion happened there, huh? A little bit of, you got the reversion, buddy. That's what you're doing right now. Yeah, we're looking to move all the way up, man, for sure. What about a 1 hour time frame? Yeah, looking good. Looking like you want to make a rip right up to 130 bucks today, man. Like I was saying, I love it. I love it. All right, cool. Yeah, and you probably do get a little bit above there too, I would expect. Don't, by the way of this metric, don't get below 109 bucks. It's okay if you like go there. It's okay if you wick below there a little bit, but don't close below there. Okay, you want to find support at that area if you do go down there, because if not, that could imply lower prices to come, and that's okay if you do, but hopefully hopefully we're done with that already, right? 4 hour time frame. Just looking for anything. Okay, nice. You got a reversion point here, and you're building off of it. Yeah. Yeah, that was the last time you had one of these. You went here, you built up, you moved sideways, and then inevitably built higher, right? You can see the blue reversion downtrend, green reversion uptrend. It's not always that cut and dry, but it's looking good, guys. This to me, everything that I'm seeing looks like you do want to move. It all points higher. So that's all I wanted to do. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. And I don't know what else to say to that, man. I don't know. Write something funny in the comments that's not racist to the racists out there. Okay, something that's genuinely funny. Maybe a little witty. Something funny. I want to see some jokes in the comments. All right, take care. Bye.